There's something truly special about a homemade, from scratch oatmeal cookie. Crispy around the edges, soft and chewy on the inside, and full of that warm cinnamon flavor that you know you love. Today, I'm going to show you how to make the classic old-fashioned oatmeal cookie from scratch. And I'll also share some simple tips that are going to make all the difference. Join me. Hey everybody, and welcome to Cooking It Real. If you're new here, I'm Kathy, and I'm so glad that you could join me in the kitchen. It's a cookie day. Who doesn't love a cookie day? And not just any cookie, these are the classic old-fashioned oatmeal cookies. Yeah, you know the ones, the kind your grandma used to make, the kind your mom used to make, the kind that was on the back of the Quaker Oats box when you were growing up. Now, the coolest thing about these cookies are, not only are they easy, not only are they delicious, but I always kind of thought they were kind of nutritious as well. Whether they're in the cookie jar or in the freezer, they're ready for snacking, lunch boxes, all the occasions when a classic cookie is the perfect choice. Let me show you how to do it. For the classic recipe, this is what you're going to need. We're going to start with 1 stick plus 6 tablespoons of softened butter. So that means 1 whole stick and then 3/4 of the other stick. Okay, so get 2 sticks, get them softened. I have got 3 cups of old-fashioned oats, and it's better to use the old-fashioned oats rather than the quick oats. It's a texture thing. I have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cups packed of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of white granulated sugar, a little bit of vanilla, about a teaspoon. I've got 2 eggs, and I've got a little bit of salt. That's a 1/2 teaspoon. I've got 1 teaspoon of baking soda and a generous teaspoon and some odd of cinnamon. You know me, more is better when it comes to cinnamon. Then you have your add-ins. I've got a cup of raisins and optionally a cup of nuts. This is pecans, but you can use walnuts, you can use any nut that you like. That's it. Let's get it going. First thing we want to do is cream our butter and sugars together. All right, so we need that 1 stick, and then we're going to look at the little tablespoon marks on the back side of the butter paper, and we need 6 tablespoons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to cut it right here. I'm going to put these 2 tablespoons back in the fridge, and then these are going to go right into my mixing bowl. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can use a hand mixer, or you can do this by hand if you really want to go totally old school. And here's my 1/2 cup of granulated sugar and 3/4 cup of brown sugar. And we're going to cream that together till it's light and fluffy. Okay, that's nice and creamy. And the reason that you use 2 sugars is that brown sugar adds the chewiness. Oatmeal cookies have like a soft yet chewy texture that is absolutely amazing. It's very like a hearty cookie. It really kind of gives you, I remember my mom used to say when she would make us oatmeal for breakfast in the winter that it sticks to your ribs. Well, I think these cookies stick to your ribs. All right, we're going to scrape down the sides of the bowl. I'm going to show you what this creaminess looks like. Look at that. You see that? Fabulous. All right, now we're going to add our 2 eggs and our vanilla. Okay. 1, 2, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm just going to eyeball this. I measure vanilla with my heart. Here we go. A little bit more, a little bit less. Not going to make a big deal. Now let's get this mixed up. Those of you who know me know what bad girl baking is. If you're new here, let me just try to explain. Typically in a recipe, they'll tell you to, in a separate bowl, put together all the dry ingredients, the flour, the salt, the seasoning, the cinnamon, the baking soda, all of that. Mix it all together and then add that into your wet ingredients, which is the butter, the eggs, and the sugar. No. Bad girl baking says, pish posh, no time for that. We're going to take half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and a generous teaspoon of cinnamon. That's to my taste. And we're just going to put it all in at once. Boom, just like that. Boom. We're not mixing it with the flour. I'm not doing any of that. All right. Now, once I get these little add-ins, I like to mix that up gently until it's incorporated. And when you have cinnamon in there, it makes it really good because you can tell when everything's been mixed in, because it'll all turn that lovely caramely brown. See that color? That's what you want. Okay, now we're going to add our 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. This is the classic recipe, remember. Straight from the Quaker himself. I'm going to give that a tiny mix. Okay, that's not too mixed. I'm going to give it a scrape. I keep threatening I'm going to get the kind of paddle that has the little silicone sidearm that scrapes the sides as you go. One of these days, maybe Santa Claus will get it for me. All right. You listening, Santa Claus? All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 3 cups of oats and we're going to add them in and give it a quick mix. All right, let's see if I can do this without spilling it everywhere. Woo! I'm spilling it everywhere. Quick mix. All right, that's just about it, okay? That wasn't but 10 seconds. Now we have our 1 cup of raisins, our 1 cup of pecans. Like I said before, these are optional. If you don't like raisins, you could use a different kind of fruit. All right, in these go. Woo. And then the nuts. All right, now we're going to give this a quick once around. You could also do this by hand with a spatula. That's it. That is it. It's now ready for the oven. Now, because this is a warm day, I'm going to put these in the fridge for 30 minutes or so. When they're cooler to cold, they'll bake up thicker. They won't spread as quickly. You'll get a better texture. And speaking of texture, you do want to be able to see the oats in your dough. Can you see those? That's what's going to give you that super chewy, delicious texture. That's another reason why you don't want to use the quick oats, the instant oats. You want to use the old-fashioned oats. All right, so into the fridge you go. And we're back. It's been about 30 minutes. This has been sitting in the refrigerator. It's firmed up nice. I have some cookie sheets with parchment on it. If you don't have parchment, don't want to use anything like that, use an ungreased cookie sheet, okay? You don't have to put the paper down, but just you don't have to butter it or grease it in any way. Use an ungreased cookie sheet. You want to preheat your oven to 350, and we're going to bake these cookies for about 12 minutes. I'm using my toaster oven today to bake these off. That's why I have these little tiny cookie sheets. Now you can use a mini scoop, you know, the ice cream scoop looking things to get uniform cookies, but I just like to use a spoon. Generally, when I'm making these for Will, I make them like nice and small, like about this size. Okay, so I'm going to make some that are that size, and I'm going to make some bigger ones. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you put the cookies on one sheet are all the same size. In other words, don't do, you know, nice small cookies on one sheet, small cookies and big cookies on the same sheet, because that's not going to work for you. 350 degrees for 12 minutes. Almost forgot to tell you guys this. You know how I was saying you could use whatever kind of fruits you want, raisins, craisins, apricots, dates, whatever kind of nuts, pecans, walnuts, pistachios, peanuts, cashews, whatever. Another thing you can use, and this is a twist on the classic, but it's still kind of classic because a lot of people do it, chocolate chips. That's going to take your oatmeal cookies to the next level. So right when you would add in your raisins or nuts, at the very end of the mixing, add in your chocolate chips. About a cup will do. A little bit less, a little bit more, you know, whatever kind of chips you like. Semi-sweet, bittersweet, peanut butter chips, whatever. Oh my gosh, so many options. But like I said before, today it's all about the classic. But you do you, boo. And another thing I almost forgot to tell you. If you're enjoying this video, if you want to learn more about classic cookies or cooking from scratch or all the flavors of your childhood, the things you grew up on, the things you love, new things, all the things, like, subscribe, and join us on this fabulous journey. It's so much fun. I am enjoying every minute of it, and I appreciate each and every one of you. All right, after 12 minutes, let's take them off and put them on a rack to cool. They might seem soft when you first take them off. That's good. That's going to be the delicious, just moist chewiness once they cool. Handy dandy cookie taster. This is the guy. He owns every oatmeal cookie in this house. I make them for him all the time.
Very nice. Caramely. Warm.
I think he likes them.
I like them.
Anyway, usually when I make a double batch, and I will freeze most of them, because if I leave them all out, he's going to eat them all. They won't last. They won't last long at all. But anyway, these are his favorite. like I said before, you can take this basic recipe and you can make it your own. And I think no matter what you do, you're going to enjoy it. So give it a try and let me know how it turns out. Okay? All right.
Raisins are good. Pecans are better.
You heard it from the expert. This guy knows oatmeal cookies.
You want raisins and you want pecans.
Yeah. And anything else is just a bonus. What do you think about chocolate chips? It's not classic.
I like it.
Yeah, you'll try it. You'll try it. We'll see. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. And until next time, keep cooking it real. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Stay tuned for Duchess.